everybody. Good morning. How's everyone doing out there? Let's see if this camera's going to work. Look at that. It's working. Awesome. Cool. Definitely enough light for today, it looks like. The old light fired up. Camera's working. Looks like the sound's working. I'll turn it up a little bit. Playing a little bluegrass this morning. Just for something different to do. You know? Ugh. Why am I yawning already? It's only like 8 something. 8:12. Late start this morning. Oh, got a little. Almost looked like we had a frame loss or something. Not showing any frame loss. Probably just my camera being. Because this camera is definitely stupid. I realize now I need to move it this way more. Looking straight. When I'm looking at both screens, it looks straighter at me. Which makes sense. Hope everybody's had a good couple of weeks. It's been a shitty couple of weeks here. But we will get through it. Things are going okay. Things could be worse, you know. Things can always be worse. Any day above ground is a good day. Bed's made. Got fresh coffee. Don't gotta work today. Don't have the bird feeder camera because we had an issue. I'm looking out there and there's 2 birds out there I've never seen before. Bird with a red head, never seen. And another one that's got like a greenish type head. Never seen either one of those birds before. Those kind of birds on my feeder before. And of course, do I have the camera hooked up? I had to take the camera, move it out to my garage because my wife's Jeep, she got up one morning and I got gas the last time and I know the gas cap was screwed on. I live out in the middle of nowhere too. Gas cap was screwed on. I know it was screwed on because she doesn't have a lanyard on it, so I make sure it clicks when I close it. So she got up, goes to work. She gets like 10 miles to work on her way to work, and all of a sudden her check engine light comes on and it thinks it's gas cap. So she pulls over, checks the gas cap, and it's barely screwed on. Looks down and notices she only has like 40 miles left when I put gas in it the day before. And it had like 180. So somebody came into my driveway in the middle of the night, siphoned gas out of my wife's Jeep. So Pennsylvania, it is a castle state. We have the castle dock. And I don't know if that's considered part of my house. I would think it would be a personal vehicle parked in my driveway. If I find out who's doing it, because now that the camera's out there, set up for motion capture, points right at my driveway. We should connect. I should still connect to it. So they have it hooked right to my. Oh, yeah, it says connecting. So it's hooked right, still hooked up to the Wi-Fi. So now it points right at my driveway so that we can see if anybody's in the driveway itself. This isn't where we normally park the Jeep. That's only there right now because I'm going to load up some trash when I get done here because I got to make my trash run. Because like I said, I live so far out in the sticks that they don't pick my trash up. I have to pick my trash up and take it to the dump myself. So the wife used to have a job at the garage or at a garage that her uncle owned. And they had a dumpster. So part of the perks of working there was she could take our trash to the dumpster. So once every 2 days, she would take a bag of trash with her, throw it in the garbage, in the dumpster, which is really nice. But now, got laid off from the garage because it got too quiet. Not enough stuff going on there. So, and they knew it was going to eventually happen because of the way cars are built now. A lot less people are getting their cars repaired. Like when they wreck them, they get totaled, so they just buy a new car. They total cars for like the silliest thing. Your airbag goes off in your vehicle. The insurance company will want to. Hey, Boston, what's going on? It is too early to be awake. You know what, though? I have been up because I'm an old man now, and I can't sleep past 6 o'clock. I have an alarm. Today's my day off, right? So that's why I'm here doing this. So I set my alarm for 6 o'clock, sleep in. I don't got to get up. 5:45 every morning. Freaking bang, wake up, wide awake, get out of bed, make the bed, come downstairs. Because the wife's already up because she has to drive to work now. It takes her an hour to get there. She has to leave here at 6:15, so she gets up at 5. She's always up before I am. I get up, make the bed, that kind of stuff. How you been doing, buddy? It is very early in the morning, and I am yawning. Like I said, I don't know why. I slept pretty good last night, but I just cannot stop yawning this morning. It's just freaking crappy weather. Are you guys all gray up there like we are? You've been forced since 7:55. I tried to do that one day because I sign on to work at 7 because I work 7 to 5 or 10 hours, 4 10s, which is nice. But I set my alarm one time because I start at 7. I set my alarm for 6:55, and I'm like, I am not getting out of this bed, and I'm going to log on at 7 and maybe lay back down. But I woke up. Again, I woke up. It was like 5:45. I was like, you got to be shitting me. I am getting up, getting some coffee, taking a shower, sticking around, and signing on at 7. Then my alarm goes off at 6:55. Yeah, it used to be I could sleep in all day. The wife and I, like 2 weeks ago, on a Sunday, we had absolutely nothing planned and nowhere to go, nobody to hang out with. Nobody was coming to the house. We're like, we are sleeping in. And freaking both of us, we slept until, I think it was 7:30. And then it was like, we both were laying there at 7:30 just watching TV. I turned the TV on because I didn't want to get up. Just like, listen, I know it's only 7:30, but I'm getting up. Yeah, me too. So yeah, this whole not wanting to sleep thing is driving me bonkers. I'd rather sleep. Used to be I could sleep all day. My kid, Gracie's 16, I'd come home from school and sleep for 4 hours, and still go to bed at 10. At least it tells me he goes to bed at 10. When I go in there to say goodnight, he usually is in bed. I don't know if he's doing the whole, I'm going to look like I'm in bed so that when mom and dad come in to say goodnight, I'll wait for them to go to sleep and then I'll just get up and game somewhere. I really think that's what's going on. I mean, I'm trusting him, but he gets up in the morning because I've always told him, as long as you get out of bed, your bedtime's 8 o'clock. You can't sleep, or 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Supposed to, on a school night, bedtime's 10 o'clock. So if you can't sleep and you get up and you game, that's on you. You got to get up the next morning. I don't want to hear it in the morning. I do not want to hear you tell me, oh, I couldn't sleep very good last night. I just couldn't sleep, so, I got up. I don't want to hear it. Get up, get in your shower, get your shit around, and let's go to school, He's pretty good about it. Very few days has he given us any shit about getting out of bed. We go up at 6 o'clock, wake him up. Hey, get up, take a shower, brush your teeth, come down, get something to eat. And he's pretty good about it. He's got in the groove, which is nice. And he's been getting himself up pretty good lately. Only a couple times we've had to go in and tell him, hey, get out of bed. I'm looking at a Photoshop here in Fart. There's a couple of alright ones. Nothing great. Yeah, that's the problem. I logging in at 7, and the sad part is I've already been up for usually an hour, 2 hours by then. So like now, like 8 o'clock, I got here late because I decided to stop, get coffee this morning after dropping them off at school, where I can come back and of course I ran into somebody at our sheets, and then talked to them for a couple minutes, and then came home and fired up the old stream. Oh, you guys were watching 24? Nice. I haven't watched that in a long time. I remember we watched the first season pretty religiously. And then there's something happened in the second season where we stopped watching it because they either killed our favorite character or they made our favorite character a bad guy, I think. So it was like, we're like, what the F? And we stopped watching it because it was that kind of movie, that kind of show. The new show that Kiefer Sutherland is in called Rabbit Hole. I watched that, and I'll tell you what. I mean, I like Kiefer Sutherland, so of course I watched it. And it's about cybersecurity and shit like that. And if you watch that movie or that TV show or whatever you want to call it, you watch the new one, Rabbit Hole, and you don't get worried about the way things are going, then you don't. Oh. Yeah, if you watch Rabbit Hole and don't get freaked out just a little bit, then you got to start looking, because it'll make you start looking at stuff because of the things they do and say in that show, and it's like, holy crap. Because if somebody's talking about it in Hollywood or wherever they built that, then you know that somebody somewhere is trying to do exactly what they're doing on that show. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Yeah, Rabbit Hole's pretty good. I tried watching, what was the other one he was in? Designated Survivor. Where he was like the undersecretary of agriculture or something like that, and somebody blew up the White House with everybody in it because one guy was trying to be president and all that stuff. And tried watching that one. There was too much political stuff in it, and it just drove me away. Like, too much of oh, he's a good guy, he's a politician, but he's a good guy. Well, I'm like, well, that's freaking bullshit. None of them are good guys, but no politics. I don't have a politics command like LP does. But I try to stay away from it. We try to keep the morning talk light, Yeah, but I really enjoyed Rabbit List. There's a Rabbit Hole. There's I guess I can tell you. There's a very, very awesome twist at the end, which makes watching the whole thing worth it. It's great. So hurry up and finish watching 24, and then you can watch Rabbit Hole. We started watching The Walking Dead again. We picked it back up. We stopped watching it like season 3 or season 2, right before Glenn got his brains bashed in. Spoiler alert. And that's where we picked up. Hey, Bob, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing today? Got your coffee? Nice. Is your bed made? That's the real question. I should have put it, I used to put it in the going live, but I forgot to put it in there this morning. Go make your bed, grab some coffee. Too early, and hell no, it ain't, Matt. Come on, you got to get that one thing a day. One little thing you get done a day, make your bed. You know, unless you're like Moon Pie, she says that her and her husband are on different schedules now because he works nights, I guess. So there's always somebody in the bed, so they don't ever make it. That I can get. They're spinning the filming of the one of the new spinoffs back near your hometown. Oh, what is it? That's why we started watching it again, because Those Who Lived, or whatever it's called. That's why we started watching The Walking Dead again, because we want to watch that. We're trying to get caught up. The first thing to get done is, I guess, got to go get your coffee and take a poop, because that's usually my morning thing, getting up. You know, I've been talking about getting up. Been doing this thing, and Jocko said it, of course. Oh, I don't have a Jocko soundbite on here. Thought I did. No, here it is. Jocko Wilnick.
Let's go get some.
He was talking about it, and he said, I try to do what my dog does. He says, watch your dog in the morning. Your dog gets up, what's the first thing it does? It stretches. Right? It goes and stretches its legs out, stretches back out. So that's what I've been doing. The first thing I get out of bed, I'll drop right there on the floor. I'll do a couple of, because of my hip too, because of having my hip replaced. It gets really tight if I don't keep it worked, basically. Keep it stretched, it'll start getting tight on me. So I do kind of like some yoga stretches first thing in the morning, like my dog. So my wife lets the dog out of the kennel, or I let the dog out of the kennel. And her and I sit there and do stretches in the bedroom. First thing you do a day is wake up, second is punch in for work, and third is get coffee. Nice. Yeah, but see, the meaningful task, you know, of making your bed, that sense of accomplishment. Yeah, getting a cup of coffee, everybody gets a cup of coffee. But, you know, making your bed, have it nice and neat, you know, you don't got to bounce quarter off it. Just getting, you know, fluff your pillows up, put them in there, walk out and go, all right, look, I did one thing today. If I get nothing else accomplished, you know, the rest of my day is just shit the bed bad. You can come home or you go upstairs that night and you look at it. If you're working from home like I do, you look at your bed and you go, you know what? I did do something today. Look at that. I made my bed. 3-year-olds keep me busy in the morning and make my bed, but I like the idea behind it. Yep. That's the whole. Oh yeah, getting coffee is meaningful to me too. You know, that is one of the nicest things about, like I said, the wife gets up. She gets up at 5 now, so she can work out, get ready, and then go to work. Because she leaves at like 6:15. The coffee is always made now. You know, when I come downstairs, there is a full pot of coffee sitting right there with my cup right behind it. Usually has my sugar right in it, ready to go. You know, all I got to do is add coffee, which is pretty nice. Now I just need to get her to make me like a breakfast sandwich before she leaves. That would be the best part. Oh yeah, 3-year-old will keep you busy, that's for sure. The kids, the little kids in the house, it is nice having, you know, our youngest is 16 now, driving and all that business. You know, he still has his learner's permit still for a couple more weeks. But it is nice when you can just say, here, have somebody else drive. It's pretty nice. When he gets his full license, he already knows he's basically going to be our Uber. So when we go up to the Legion, because we go to Legion every week, I'm a Legion member. I used to be a Master at Arms. I ran for Commander once or twice. And we go up to Legion a lot. I got him to actually have Guinness in the Legion for me. So we make sure we go up at least once a week, stop in, have a couple beers, you know, mingle, social life kind of thing. And he already knows that he will be coming to get us like on Friday nights at like 11 when the Legion finally decides to close. And we're good friends with the bartender that works on Friday nights up there too. So yeah, we've already told him, don't make too many plans on Friday nights. Or if you do, plan on coming to get us and then going back to wherever you're at. So you've been eating the egg cup thing in the morning. You basically open the cheese, meat, and potato, crackers, and egg, and microwave for 45 seconds. Oh, so you put it all like in a bowl? Like you mix the egg up, throw it all in there, put it in the microwave. That's a good idea. What we do, is like I said, we work out. You know, I work out 3 times a week. My wife works out every day, and she's really into the eating part of it, which is nice because it keeps me level set. You know what I mean? Like, it keeps me from eating too much crap. She found this thing online where she takes the muffin pans and sprays them, you know, and does the same thing. She'll make sausage, like ground sausage, but fry that up. She does this like on Sunday, fries up ground sausage, and then goes to the muffin pan, takes like 6 eggs and mixes them, you know, beats them up, pours them into each slot in the muffin pan, drops some ground sausage in there, and puts some sprinkled cheese or some grated cheese on top of that, and then bakes them for like 35 minutes. So then out throughout the week, those little egg cups are already ready. And then all you do is toss them in the microwave for like 15 seconds. And they're perfect because, like you said, they're just the right size. Yeah, broccoli, cheese, and egg muffins. Yeah, I didn't make a sandwich this morning. I dicked around too much before I got the kid off to school, so I didn't get to have I have working from home now for like 3 years. You know, I have my morning schedule, and it's either cheese bagel, you know, with sausage and egg, or spam and egg and cheese, or English muffin with spam, egg, or sausage, egg, and cheese, something along those lines. Or I found ciabatta bread at Aldi like a couple months ago. They don't always have it. That's the problem. These little square ciabatta breads make perfect breakfast sandwich. Oh yeah, put a little pesto in them. That's a good idea too. Might have to try that. Make it kind of like a quiche, almost like a little mini quiche. Some pesto, that would be awesome. That sounds real good. Let's look at some stories here while Boston's away getting his coffee. Low sodium pesto recipe, that's so good. I'll have to check that out. Let's see. Well, that's a stupid story. Why is it? Oh, because it's Inside Edition. They want you to watch the video. Second cup acquired. Nice. Well, I guess we can watch the video. All right, let's go to our first story of the day here. Go back to the beginning. So this story says, brave bridesmaid removes unwanted snake from wedding. So I thought maybe it was just, you know, going to be some goofy...
of wedding crashers, but a snake crashing a wedding?
So this chick's got
That's
no
a new
fear.
one.
Look at her.
And so's this. The sister of the bride turned into an emergency snake wrangler.
Why isn't that girl scared of anything?
And here's Erica Rodriguez. It was her sister's wedding. It happened
Some
in
dude
Florence,
out there's like,
Arizona.
I'm gonna
And
marry
look,
that girl.
The snake is as long as she is.
It was like 5 feet tall, right?
I don't think I realized how big it was until I picked it up and I was like, oh my god, this thing
That's what
is
she
taller than
said.
me.
Erica was fearless, zero hesitation.
You know, insert
She
your
just
own-
swoops the
she's good at
slithering
handling the
creature
snake
right
joke
up.
here.
A parade of guests followed along with their cell phones as Erica
That's
removed
crazy.
the snake from
Hey,
the
at least she
wedding
didn't
venue.
kill it, you know what I
And
mean?
Where did she learn
perfectly
how to deal
harmless
with
snake.
snakes?
Yep. I
Just
just grew
chilling.
up watching Steve Irwin and my role model.
That's right. She learned the right way to grab a snake from the late Steve Irwin show.
This place crawls with snakes.
The
As
legend.
you were holding his tail, I could see that he was reaching up, trying to bite you.
Yeah, he was saying hello. He's like, hello, can you put me down, please?
Why isn't
Yeah.
that girl scared of anything?
She wasn't hurting him.
By the way, that snake is a gopher snake. That's not,
Right.
I repeat, not poisonous. I'd
Yeah.
still be standing on my chair. Back with more Inside
I mean,
Edition.
that was pretty awesome, though. She lashed right onto that thing. She was like, snake? That's not a snake. it's a gopher snake. And she just snatched it right up. I can imagine, because they gave her name out, so I'm sure her Facebook or Instagram or whatever she has is probably just blowing up with snake, about handling snakes comments. Thought grabbing the tail was a bad idea because it can still bite you. I always thought you were supposed to grab near the head. See, I think it depends. Of course, I'm not a snake expert, but if it's a venomous snake, I think you want to grab it behind the head because that's the most dangerous part. Like that snake, like she said, it was a gopher snake. It's not venomous. It's not going to hurt you. It can probably bite you, but you're not going to die from it. You may, if you don't keep it clean and get an infection, all that kind of business. But she knew that, so she just picked it up by the tail. You know, I'm sure, because we have our snake hunt every year, which I'm going to this year. We hunt rattlesnakes. They hunt rattlesnakes. I don't know if I'm going to actually participate, because I think you have to have some sort of training to do it. But I'm damn sure going to get video, and I have a buddy who is actually going to be in the snake hunt part. You know? Yeah, see, that's the other big thing. You gotta understand the whole, you know, if they have round eyes or slit eyes or all that kind of stuff before you start messing with them like that. Well, if their head is, if they have a triangle head and all that kind of, you know, there's all those little markers that tell you the difference. But yeah, we have a snake hunt, which is rattlesnakes. And I have a buddy who's going to do it. Let me see if I can find any. Send them up. Snake hunt. So a buddy of mine coming up do this year. He's a fireman, so of course he's got big balls as it is. Right?
Okay, well, it's the day before the open.
So these guys, let me.
Become a snake hunter when you get older? You know, oh, you want to fish too? You catch garter snakes right now, huh?
So this is like, here, let me get to the one spot where they.
Is this a fun time up here?
So here we go. See, like this tube. So this is what they do. Look at that fat sucker. So that's what they do is they have the, you know, long pole and whatever, and they grab it and then they put the head in that tube and they can pick it up. But look at all these people. These people are here for a snake hunt, and in that pavilion, oh, that dude's doing it out in the wild.
We're gonna let go. There were several of them right here underneath this big rock.
Yeah.
There's a hole right there.
That's why they tell you, like where we live, Pennsylvania, do not climb on the big rocks. Especially, look at that. There's a whole freaking.
That yellow phase is almost the whole way up under.
God dang, there's a whole bunch of them in there. And that dude's just hanging out looking at him.
Oh,
And he's going to poke him with a stick.
Way back. There's two more.
No, thank you, sir. Hey, look at them. They just look mean.
Back there, 'cause there's a little one. Do you see that little one going over the big female back there?
These dudes are freaking nuts. They're wrangling them out in the wild. Yeah, see, they put that tube over their heads.
Yeah.
That's a pretty one there, too.
I am in the smack dab central part of the state. I'm about 20 miles from New York state border in an area they call, it's Potter County. It's God's country because there's nothing else around here. And yeah, you have snakes, right? Yeah, we have snakes here. You guys have snakes up there. That's the key, though. I think, like these guys, I'm sure if you watch this whole thing, he'll tell you it's the rocks that, you know, because of course the rocks absorb more heat, and being cold-blooded, the snake's like hanging out under rocks, and because there's heat from the rock and all that stuff. So I was hoping they'd show more of this actual snake hunt. So what they do with the snake hunt is, I see, like in this pavilion here, there's a pit, right? So here, look, and this dude's just kind of, he's just chilling. Never go into the woods ever. Oh, come on, man. The woods are awesome. Look at this guy. He's just walking around, just kind of chilling. And the snakes are just hanging out. And of course, this is the vendor fair. You're swearing Philly. See, Philly sometimes is claimed by Pennsylvania and sometimes it's not. Depends on what you're talking about. Talking about cheesesteaks, okay, yeah, we'll claim it. You know, but if you're talking about, crime rates or this place has got some good, this bourbon. They have the pickled bourbon and the salted caramel. That's good stuff. These are some of the vendors. Raw honey. Oh my God, I have so much honey right now. It's not even funny. Look at that. Henry Golden Boy. Lever action. This must be a raffle table. Pheasants Forever. Look at that mountain. That's what she said. Don't know who that is. Yeah, check these. Yeah, you can get that close to him, Boston. Look at it. Yeah, if you ever drive down Route 6, so if you're going from, say, like Scranton over to Erie or wherever, you know, somewhere on that side, the town I live in is on Route 6, but I live like 15 miles out of town, out in the middle of the sticks. You need to get your pre-permit. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass here, though. There's no reciprocity. They just finished New York State. There's no reciprocity with New York State. And the thing that sucks is because we live so close to New York State that we go to New York State all the time. We go up to a town called Olean, which is the next biggest town close to us, to go shopping. There's an Aldi there. There's a Walmart there. There's an Arby's or Starbucks. You know, we don't have any of that stuff. So, but in order to go up there, I can't carry because there's no reciprocity. So we tend to stay here, and we actually drive a little bit further, just so my dog was being crazy, just so I can still carry because there's no freaking reciprocity, and it makes me mad. All right, Bob, thanks for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate it. Go get them kids ready for school and get some learning. You know, if you get enough time, go up and make that bed. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, I'll see you over at LP Stream later this morning, because I usually do this for right about, and I don't know how he talks all day, because I get 2 hours in, and by that time my throat is just smoked. I mean, he's been doing it for 10 years. Like a lot of these guys, like watching Markstrom and Deadly Slob and stuff, because they've been playing Star Citizen, which is like my second favorite game. So watching Deadly Slob play Star Citizen for 14 hours last week, I was like, and he's talking the whole time, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh. But he's one of those guys though too. Deadly Slob is one of these guys. He talks, he puts his microphone right here like this, and he talks real light, which I can see. You know, he does the radio voice stuff. I try to set my mic up so I don't have to do that. All right, let's see what else. Yeah, but I'm excited for that snake hunt. I have a buddy that's coming up who does it, who gets in the thing there and catches snakes. And I'm sure, I already know he's going to try to get me in there. Holder, what's going on, buddy? Joey, what's going on? Right? Deadly just streams forever. How are you doing this morning, Joe? And Holder, glad to see you guys. Yeah, but see, with Star Citizen though too, I can see that, because when I start playing it, I mean, there's just so much stuff. You can just go and do whatever you want for however long you want. Yeah. I'm doing pretty darn well. Getting started with work, Holder. Nice. Well, don't let me keep you from work, you know. Nice little background. We'll listen to some bluegrass this morning. A little change of pace. Missed a couple of weeks. Yeah, he would make Tarkov interesting, and it's not easy at times. Exactly. You know, the only well, not the only, but my biggest gripe with Tarkov, especially when you're watching it, is the footsteps, man. It just, and I understand the logic behind it. What's his name? The guy that runs it, Ivan or something like that. I understand the logic, because if you put on hearing aid or hearing pros like that, you do hear your own footsteps. I get it. He's trying to make it realistic, and it makes sense that he wants that realism, but it just doesn't translate when people are trying to stream it, which is what gets me, because they just crunch, 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 you know, and it's like, good Lord. If it wasn't for that, that's one of the things I kind of like. Was it Gray Zone, the new one? There's the footsteps are there, but they're not as loud, which is nice. So what's this story? Speed limits are too darn high. Drivers don't need to go faster than 20 on most city streets. Clearly, whoever said that has never been to any city of any size. Last month, a group of families whose loved ones were killed by drivers successfully lobbied the New York State legislature to pass a law allowing New York City to set its own speed limits. How would they not be allowed to set their own? Because I know my town has its own speed limit. As soon as you come within the town limits, because of course we're in the middle of nowhere, there's a sign that says town limits, like in the movies, you know, because there's a bar. It's funny because it's just like the old movies. There's a town limit sign, and just on the other side of it is a bar. The town cops can't go there, and it's far enough away from the state police barracks that we don't have to worry about. You see the town cops come in and cruise the parking lot looking at the cars, and then they go sit like 2 miles down the road inside the borough limits. So, but yeah, I know our city has its own speed limit, because as soon as you hit that sign, it's 35, and then it drops down to 25 when you get by the schools, of course. So Sammy's Law allows city officials rather than the state's Department of Transportation to determine the speed limit. I don't see how that's going to work, though. In New York City, the way those crazy people drive, I don't know if any of you guys are from New York City. Well, good. I'm glad you decided to pop in. Like I said, we're just having some coffee, listening to some bluegrass, reading some stupid news stories. Don't worry, I don't do the slurp thing here like LP, you know, with that everybody has to mute because he's slurping his G Fuel. I try to have my microphone set up so you guys don't even hear me drink, but let's see. So that year, let's see. Knowing that 2021 was the highest pedestrian fatality rate in the United States. Well, I don't think that has to do so much, right? What's the stupid news? All news is stupid anymore. But I think, see, they're lowering the speed limit to 20 miles an hour as pedestrian fatalities. I don't know if that's so much the drivers as it's a combination of stupid people looking at their phones and stupid drivers. That's my guess. That would be the combination. Because, you know, everybody's staring at their phone nowadays. Was there really an ad break going on? I just had an ad break. I got to turn that off. Well, the New York Post always has really good stories too. So I normally look for the Florida stories, of course. I look for New York Post stories, and then I go to the Star, and then any Florida story goes first because they're always the best. So here's a New York Post story. Most high school senior pranks are harmless. This one's a crime against humanity. Oh, okay. I can see why this would be a crime against humanity. I've talked about this before at Highland Games, right? So these kids, these seniors, they wanted to have a mariachi band come, right, and follow the principal around, but because it was Cinco de Mayo, they couldn't get one. So instead, they got a bagpiper. And this guy followed him around school, playing the bagpipes all day. Right? The bagpipes are this awesome thing. Right? When you go to Highland Games, you're sitting there in the morning. We usually start at like 10 o'clock. You got your kilt on, you got your shoes, you got your, usually we wear like track and field shoes or your spikes, whatever you want to wear. And, we're getting all warmed up. We're getting loosened up, and then the bagpipers start. Because normally at Highland Games, there's also pipe and drum competitions, which include bagpipers, of course, right? That's the pipe and bag and pipe and drum. And so they'll start warming up, and you're like, oh man, that sounds awesome. It's like, this is going to be great. And they start playing Scotland Forever, right? And you hear it the first thing in the morning, 9 o'clock. And you're like, this is freaking cool. I'm in the middle of a field with my buddies, a bunch of big freaking lunkheads like me who are just here to throw stones and do shots of whiskey and freaking hang out and tell jokes all day and talk to people, right? Because that's what Highland Games, a lot of people don't realize. Highland Games are more of a show for the crowd than they are a real competition. Because people like to come watch people throw a 16-pound stone as far as they can, or pick up a caber and try and turn it. So if you ever go to a games, you'll notice that the guys at the games are out there laughing, having a good time. There's usually a flask being passed around, that kind of stuff. And everybody's out there having a good time. Very rarely will you ever see somebody get mad at a Highland Games, especially one of the athletes, because we know that we're there to put on a show for the crowd. That's the number one thing, right? And then it goes from there. It goes to how well you do against yourself from everything else. But back to the bagpipers, first thing in the morning, you're like getting psyched up. Yeah. You're freaking like, this is going to be awesome. And the bagpipers are going, and, like 200 feet away or 200 yards away, there's a bagpiper over here. Then there's another one over here who starts warming up, because there's going to be 4 or 5 of them there. And you hear them going off, and then it's awesome. And then at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're sitting there, you're about half drunk, you're tired, right? You're ready for the day to be over, and the bagpipers are still going, and they only play like 6 songs. Right, and it's the same 6 songs, and they all play the same, and it just goes on and on. And by that time, you're like, okay, dude. Okay, give it a rest. Take a break. Yeah, I don't know if you saw, I posted it in the Discord. We were up in Corning, New York for what's called SantaCon, where people that look like Santa Claus or dressed like Santa Claus or any kind of, my wife dressed like an elf. And, I dressed as Vacation Santa because I wanted to be different, and I put on a Hawaiian shirt. But anyway, we were going around to the bars, and we go into one of the bars, and in comes a pipe and drum band, a nice, like a 9-piece. And they come in, and they had, lights all over their stuff, because with LEDs now, everybody can just wear lights. All their stuff had lights all over it, and they came in and they started playing. The bar turned off the lights, and it was one of the coolest things ever. I was sitting there drinking a Guinness, listening to a freaking pipe and drum band in the bar, and me and my wife were like, this is freaking cool as shit. And they were good about it too, because they would play like one song and take a break. They'd come up at the bar and they'd drink Guinness with us, like, all right, let's go back. And they'd go back and play like 2 more songs, and they'd come back to the bar. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was awesome. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the video is still on it'd be back around right before Christmas, so like December 5th, I think it was, that we did that, and they were there, and I put the video up. It was pretty cool. The guy with I think it was actually a girl with the drum, and she had a light on her baton, and she was, spinning it, and boom, boom. That was pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Another Daily Star story here. Pop quiz. Hot shots. Which A in AAA stands for alien? They did this on the news channel I listen to. UFO whistleblower claims alien flagged down military convoy to ask for a spare part. And a spectacular story of an alien that flagged down a U.S. military convoy and asked for help to fix his flying saucer was unveiled this week in a new podcast. Yeah, this guy came forward and said they were in a convoy going somewhere and the ship came down. You know, UFO expert Courtney Marchesani was one of the first in her field to break the story of Jason Sands, who claimed to have first-hand knowledge of the U.S. government's secret UFO reverse engineering program. Well, yeah. Was that it? That's pretty lame. That's clickbait. Well, I guess it is the Star. He told Now he revealed to her that he, as well as working for the U.S. Air Force's secret UFO crash retrieval team, he had an unexpected encounter with a non-human, so another called them NHIs, close to Area 51 in the Nevada desert. Oh, here you go. I thought it was done. Gordon explained the details of Sands' extraordinary claim on the Disclosure Team podcast. Convoy left Nellis and headed out on the range, and they were told by the commander not to talk to anybody out in the desert. Well, do aliens count as anybody? But there was a person walking on the road with the U.S. military fatigue, so they stopped. Jason was in the passenger seat of the vehicle and rolled his window down with the person. Rolled his window down to speak with the person and asked if they needed help. But it was not a human being. It was another type of being, and asked him for a part for his ship. Well, how did he... Oh, there we go. Mysterious black helicopters retrieved UFO shot down by U.S. Air Force near Alaska. So this guy, Sands, was in the Air Force for 22 years. During that time, claimed he was cleared to view top secret information. Okay. Pretty much, top secret doesn't mean what it used to mean. It's not like in the old days. If it was top secret, it was top secret, and you didn't get to see it unless you had a need to know. But nowadays, it's not like that anymore. This is just, who came up with this idea? I don't get. So the whole portal thing. Do you guys know what the portal is? The New York to Dublin portal. New York City to Dublin live video installation. Started bringing out the worst in people with lewd displays. So there's people in New York, and there's people in Dublin, and there's this portal set up. It's live 24/7. You can do whatever you want in it. Like apparently, like the first thing that someone in Dublin did was showed pictures of 9/11, right? And then a very drunk woman in her 40s led away by cops and arrested after grinding her backside against a screen. Okay. She was there for 20 minutes, very drunk, and slapping and grinding against the portal before guards stepped in. Why would you not have guards ever? Yeah, see, look at, and this guy put his phone up with 9/11 on it. They're freaking idiots. You know, this is why the aliens won't visit us, people. Right? This just shows you what human beings are really like. There's zero repercussions for anybody's actions related to this thing. So people do the worst possible thing. Middle finger exchanges and other lewd gestures are common means of communications. Well, duh. That's how humans communicate. Rude gestures and lewd, what was the word he used? Yeah, that's just silly. That's just silly. Why would you? I get it. I get the whole, oh, we're going to join people together and make a smaller planet, whatever. No, you're going to it's going to be crazy. People are going to do dumb stuff. Let's see. There's no Florida stories yet today. WGAL. Where's that at? It's got to be, it's Lancaster. So, New Holland, PA, Lancaster. Let me wait for this ad to go by and we'll bring the video up here. The video is making the rounds on social media. Slowing a loose cow trotting down the street in New Holland. It looks like Pennsylvania. Oh, come on. They still freaking put an ad on here. You gotta be kidding me. So that Amish dude was in the Jeep with a rope trying to lasso that cow. Come on. Oh, I think because I turned off that ad that was on there. When I turned that off, it stopped my feed. They got that figured out. Right? Now it comes right to your door. They just bring the cow right to your house and just squirt it right out while you're waiting for it. I wonder if you got to provide your own jugs for that. Okay, I can't believe Monday. I'm looking through Monday stories. Cannot believe that there's not a single Florida story in here. Must have been a slow day in Florida. All right, let's load some Tuesday headlines. Let's see. Yahoo, Metro, chicken noodle soup. Or chicken noodle news. I don't know any of those names. Oh, here we go. Florida tag. All right, here we go. Today in AI headlines. For months, scientists have been racing to figure out what's ailing and killing dozens of fish species to save the critically endangered small tooth sawfish. 0 seconds of 1 minute, 1 second, but that was weird. Let's see. For months, scientists have been racing. That's the same thing it said. Mysterious ailment causing fish. Oh, this is just a fish story. This isn't. They're just saying that the algae is to blame. I want a good Florida man story. All right, here we go. This one's on Yahoo News. Florida man finds that discussing your sexual activities during a job interview is risky, especially if they involve children and you're applying to be a cop. Okay. Florida man convicted after admitting to heinous crime during a job interview to become a police officer. I want to say I saw this. Wasn't he? He was actually working as a cop. Florida man who aspired to become a police officer admitted to sexually abusing his cousin during a police department job interview. Oh no, I wanted to say that this guy, I thought he was already sworn in. Woodley first mentioned playing sexual games in a sworn officer application. He again mentioned a crime during an interview. Like it was okay. Like he thought it was all right. That's crazy. Well, I hope they freaking send his ass to jail because those guys will take care of him. So, a Florida man bit a chunk out of a deputy's head at a music festival. Now this is a Florida man story. Look at that guy. Florida man was arrested earlier this week after biting a chunk out of a deputy's head at an EDM music festival. So when I think of EDM music festivals, this is not the type of party goer that I would picture, right? I picture like the guys they show on TV or the kids they show on TV who are all, wearing like the fairy wings and the little glow-in-the-dark neon things around their necks. I have got a breeze coming in here from somewhere. I'm going to have to go figure out where it is. But yeah, I would not picture this guy if he said, hey, let's go to an EDM festival, having this dude show up. So this guy allegedly attacked the deputy and tried to grab his gun. That's quite a bite. When they say a chunk, holy crap. They bring the boobs to you, right? Yeah, they bring the boobs to you. Yeah, for the cow story back, yeah. They just bring them right to your door. You got to have your own jugs to put it in, though. See what I did there? I don't have a good... Oh, here it is. They bring them right to your door. Yeah, that's quite the bite. So chances are, of course, EDM. So this guy was at an EDM festival. Which, like I was saying, that if you said, hey, pick out the guy that was at an EDM festival, wouldn't be that guy. Not in a million years. Okay. Well, he took quite the chunk. Oh, man. We missed it. Restaurant equipment. Bid. This is a website where you can go buy restaurant equipment. And they had, obviously not being Thursday anymore, the headline said, do you want to own all of the equipment from a Red Lobster? Want to own a Red Lobster restaurant with all the contents inside? You have until Thursday. I missed it. Okay, see, look at that's the reason to buy it right there. That tank alone, that's probably a 100-gallon tank, you think? Maybe 50? That's probably $2-3 grand just the stuff in it. You know? Oh, it's all fried and prepared the same way, in the same grease. The curse of Cheddar Bay. Yeah, I hear they're closing a lot of them down. McDowell's, home of the Big Mick. Nice. Oh, geez. Yeah, I guess they're closing a lot of the Red Lobsters down, which means the end of the Cheddar Bay biscuits. The only place you'll be able to get them is in the bag at Walmart. Have to make them yourselves. What's this one? Some story about some orcas sinking some yachts. Good. Glad to see that the orcas are sticking up for us against the rich people. Sinking yachts. I would say we paid them, but obviously we didn't because we're not the rich people. New York Post with the boobies tag. Challenge accepted. So, I have a friend who, through Highland Games, because this is what people who are old Olympic athletes, like shot putters and discus throwers, a lot of them end up in Highland Games because it's a competitive sport still, right? And I have one friend who was a shot putter. He was tried out several times for the Olympic team, and his big thing was the sex stories from the athletes' barracks or hotels or whatever you want to call them from the Olympics are just like apparently legendary. Like they give you like 300 condoms to everybody, married or not, that go to the Olympics as an athlete. So with the Summer Olympics in Paris this year, anti-sex beds have arrived at the Paris Olympics after horny athletes admit to orgies amid competition. And apparently these things are legendary. There'll be no lovemaking in the city of Paris, or city of love. Anti-sex beds have arrived in Paris ahead of the 2024 Olympic Games, with all the materials and small size allegedly aimed at deterring athletes from getting kinky during the competition. Do they really think that the only place people do it is in bed? I mean, come on, people. All you got to do, get rid of this stuff, put your mattresses all on the floor. You take all these things and put them in one room, put all the mattresses in another room, and make it one big bedroom. I mean, come on. It took me like 2 seconds to figure that out. Yeah, over the years, stories about wild sex occurring among Olympic athletes have abounded in the media. Yeah, that's what my one buddy's like, dude. He's like, that's the reason why I want to get on the Olympic team. You know, he's like, I'm a good shot putter, but I want to check this out. I'm like, I'm sure you do. All right, Photoshop this climbing kid. No. Bernie. Shh. Hey, the big red chair. No. That's great. Nice. That's a good one. I like that one. It does look like they're looking at each other. Daddy bear, mama bear, baby bear. That one was okay. Okay. Real quick, I gotta go figure out where this breeze is coming from. No, I don't have. Well, I don't have anything in there. Here, let's add something real quick. Media file. Add a source. Source. File. Let's add. You guys can watch some Popeye. Copyright free now because it's almost 100 years old. Popeye the Sailor because he's awesome. All right, I will be right back.
Popeye, you fireman. Fetcheth me my hat and cloak.
Here it you are.
gunshot wound while walking on the sidewalk in a Woodstock neighborhood. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office said the man was walking on Huron Street at 11 a.m. when a man riding a bike tried to pass the man on the sidewalk. The two men exchanged words, and the bicyclist shot the man in the chest. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The bicyclist rode off. Wow. So you gotta ride strapped in Florida now. I mean, it is Florida. Yep, no bird cam until I get another camera. Once I get another camera, we'll get the old bird cam hooked back up. The cameras I get are, of course, Amazon, like Amazon Basics. They're like $25, Yeah. So you gotta ride strapped in Florida now. Hey, Photoshop this intense throw. Weren't we just talking about the Olympics? Look at that. Look at that guy's real hair. Pitchfork, nice. Oh, you guys didn't look. You guys aren't seeing it. Tell me. Hold on. There's the original, which is in its own right. That shirt is pretty colorful. I like wearing colorful shirts, but that one's way colorful. Nice. Two triple 20s. Throwing a pitchfork through the head. That's always the mosh pit girl. Oh, geez. Okay. Nice. I like that one. GIF. Oh. This guy found the actual rest of the GIF. Of the rest of the pictures and made it into a GIF. That's pretty cool. Tragedy at Javelin Catch event. Groove is in the heart. I like how if you look at this long enough, it looks like it's moving. What was I going to say? Oh, let's see. Oh, there he is. This guy right here. I've been going to FARC for 20 years now. Looking at stuff, because this is like one of the original websites on the internet. This and Ernie's House of Whoop Ass were like two of the first big websites. And this guy, Yammering Splatfactor, has been putting stuff in Photoshops for 20 freaking years now. The guy is a legend. Well, that's probably too long of an explanation. Guy with 654,000 YouTube subscribers, must be nice, tries to debunk footage from the International Space Station, despite something on the screen he's looking at giving him a subtle clue that he's making himself look a little silly with every word. Yeah, it's a 20-minute video.
It's a UFO.
Oh, so this is a breakdown of.
In a real sky, that would be impossible. That doesn't happen.
Let's give the man some credit. In a real sky, that doesn't happen. But we're not looking at the real sky, are we?
So I'm going to show you guys some more examples of what appears.
Oh, this guy's trying.
Spanning across the earth. Look right here. Here's a couple of the lines that show up in these ISS live feeds, and they've been showing up for several months. I don't recall seeing these years back. This is something that at least is new to me. I've had people share these recently.
And there's also something else there. What makes this feed quite helpful is when the feed from the ISS cameras is suspended for any reason. On the NASA channels, you get a card that just says this feed has been temporarily.
Well, duh. Yeah, the cameras aren't continuous. I guess if you've never watched it, you don't get that part. The live feed from ISS, that camera goes down from time to time. Lots of different reasons. You know, sometimes, you know, I think they're trying to cover up stuff, you know, but that's just me. Or, you know, they just lose signal. They're in freaking outer space, for crying out loud. No, but that guy's saying they're not in outer space. See, that's the whole thing. They're saying it's all a big scam. Okay, Florida man, Tampa Bay Times. This would make me mad. Tampa restaurant garnished plates with foxtail ferns from outside. A kaiseki restaurant that shares space with a recent Michelin star winner. Yeah, it's the same set, you know, that soundstage in Hollywood. They're just shooting it from there. I mean, they already got all the stuff set up, right? Why not just use it again? Stare face, right? Where's the... There. These guys took plants from a plot of land behind a building and used them to garnish plates. So, okay. I have no issue with that whatsoever, as long as they put them there for that reason. Foxtail ferns are everywhere. They snaked across the wooden tray in front of me, poking between dishes at dinner in March. They were all over Yelp and Instagram and TikTok, where influencers smiled coyly behind platters covered with green sprigs. They even made an appearance on the restaurant's website, where they perched quietly in the background photo, hovering over reservation part below. Come on, ads. In January, the Tampa Bay Times received a tip that Co. was taking the ferns from a plot of land behind the building and using them to garnish plates. The restaurant is owned by the Manamit Group that operates Cozen. Video shows an employee snipping plants from the courtyard of the neighboring Pearl Apartments, an area where dogs frequently go to pee and where runoff water from the building's garbage can seep into the soil. So, if people had any idea on the kind of shit, I mean literal shit, that they put on stuff that is used for food, if they're washing them, well, I don't care. What's the big deal? I ate at Co. 2 months ago and saw the ferns for myself. The bright green plants are draped across elaborate spreads of tiny bites, parts of the restaurant, the San course, the 10-item tasting. So it must be this Kiseki is like one of those one-bite restaurants where everything it looks like comes in a one-bite sample. The bill for 2 people came to $464.40. And tax and a mandatory service charge. Don't get me started on tips. At that price, I expected a little more than decorations forged from a patch used for dog relief. Okay, that part I do agree with. Now, if they had a fenced off little area out back that they cultivated on their own and they were putting, you know, regular stuff on it, I wouldn't have a problem with that, because that would be actually one of the places we go has that. They have, you can see the cook come out and cut stuff off of the plants that they have growing on the sill between like the bar area and the kitchen area. They grow, you know, thyme and parsley and all that kind of stuff in there. They just come out and clip it off and they wash it and they use it. Of course, I'm looking at my window and I see another bird that I haven't seen yet this year. The first one I've seen this year, it's a yellow, I want to say it's called a yellow-bellied sapsucker. I'll have to look at my book, though. And then there's a golden finch right above it. Now, if the camera was out there, them sons of bitches wouldn't be out there. I know they wouldn't. A ride with Johnny Cab ends up costing more than 18 credits. I like that reference. Johnny Cab was the cab from Total Recall. A robo-taxi company, Cruise, has paid out between $8 million and $12 million to a woman who was dragged 20 feet by one of its automatic vehicles in downtown San Francisco last fall. Wow. So they had driverless taxis, huh? Oh, okay, so it's got all this high-tech business on top. Nice. She got $8 million for it. That company will be going out of business soon. Let me check one thing really quick. And then we'll get right back to it. Gotta log into something. All right. Cybertruck owner sad that everyone hates his truck. Well, yeah, no shit. Man missing for 27 years, found next door, stuck inside a hole in his neighbor's basement. Okay. A man who vanished at 17 is discovered alive in a hole after being held captive by his neighbor 27 years. Wow. A man who vanished 30 years ago at age of 17 following an alleged kidnapping has been found alive at his neighbor's house in a hole in the ground and a sheep pen underneath stacks of hay. Wow. He was one of 9 children believed to have disappeared in the city of Jelfa in Algeria 27 years ago. Family assumed he had been killed during the Civil War. Wow. Man was found in his neighbor's house less than 200 meters away from his own family. He's 61 years old now in police custody. Oh, the man who kidnapped him is 61. Omar, now 45, was rescued on May 12th. Wow. In the neighbor's house. That is crazy. Oh, you're all good, Boston. We're almost done here. I'm gonna call it quits. I think a little quick because I gotta go load up my junk yet so I can make a trash run. It's gonna take me a little while because I want to get back and make sure I get some catch up LP stream this morning. I don't see anything good in here yet. For fuck's sake, Texas. Texas governor pardons ex-Army sergeant convicted of killing Black Lives Matter protester. Okay, yeah, I'm not even gonna give that kind of downer story a time of day. I shouldn't even have read it. Photoshop this angular modern home and backyard. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Look at that kid. Look, they got a kid on display. That's pretty nice of them. Wonder if he's for sale, you know. There's the Yammering Splat Vector. The kid, everybody saw it because look, there the kid is in the fish tank. People throwing stones. Billy Joel, I'm pretty sure. That's pretty cool. Money for nothing. Is that BoJack Horseman or what was it called? Something like that. Cannonball off the roof, obviously. Found it. What movie's that from? That's okay. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a morning. Like I said, I got to go out and load my trash up. I got to check on a couple things before I do that. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for hanging out and reading some stupid news, having some coffee, starting off your Friday, early weekend. You know, I will catch you guys later over an LP stream once I get back from the dump, I'm sure. All right, Scruff Dog out.